that the business is going to change in a major way. And that gets down to what you probably heard me talk about before, is what kind of a moat is around the business. You know, every business that we look at, we think of as an economic castle. And castles are subject to marauders. And in capitalism, any castle you have, whether it's razor blades or soft drinks or whatever, you have to expect that. I mean, you want the capitalistic system to work in a way that millions of people are out there with capital thinking about ways to take your castle away from you and appropriate it for their own use. And then the question is, what kind of a moat do you have around that castle that protects it? See's Candy has a wonderful moat around its castle. And Chuck Huggins has taken that moat, which he took charge of in 1972, and he has widened that moat every year. He throws crocodiles and sharks and piranhas in the moat, and it gets harder and harder for people to swim across and attack the castle. So they don't do it. If you look since 1972, Forrest Mars tried with Ethel M., I don't know, 20 years ago, and I hate to think of how much money it cost him to try that. And he was a very experienced businessman. So we think in terms of that moat and the ability to keep its width and its impossibility of being crossed as the primary criterion of a great business. And to our managers, we say we want the moat widened every year. You know, that does not necessarily mean that the profit is more this year than last year, because it won't be sometimes. But if the moat is widened every year, the business will do very well. When we don't have when we see a moat that's tenuous in any way, getting back to your question, it's just too risky. We don't know how to evaluate that, and therefore we leave it alone. We think all of our businesses, virtually all of our businesses, have pretty darn good moats, and we think the managers are widening them.